Hello, students. Today's topic is satire. And what is satire? Before we proceed, let's translate this word into Hindi. Satire means व्यंग्य. हिंदी में इसे व्यंग्य या कटाक्ष भी कहते हैं. So let's lead towards its definition. Satire is a genre of literature. So first thing is that satire is a genre of literature and performing art. So satire belongs to literature and performing arts, usually fiction and less frequent in non-fiction. So, in which vices, follies, abuses, and shortcomings are held up to ideally with the intent of shaming individuals, corporations, government, or society itself into improvement. So, in simple words, we can say that satire is genre, is a way of writing in which the vices, follies, abuses, and shortcomings of we can say individuals or corporations, governments are attacked so that there can be improvement. So what does a satire do? Satire makes reform. For the intention of reformation, we use satire. Although satire is usually meant to be humorous, so other characteristic of satire is that it is humorous. Its greater purpose is often constructive. Its purpose is not offending but constructive. Social criticism using wit draw attention to both particular wider issues in society. So to draw the attention of society and to improve or reform in society, the writers or author use satire. So what is the purpose of satire? To bring attention to issues that might otherwise be overlooked. So draw attention to the issues of society, advocate for social reform, provide insight into human weakness, and to amuse readers by bringing powerful figure down a notch, to invite reader to reflect on their own weakness. So these are the chief use of satire, chief purpose of satire: to reform in society, to draw attention toward the personal or human weakness. Now discuss the various type of satire. Satire uses as a weapon irony and sarcasm. The first type of satire is Horatian satire, after Roman satirist Horace. What does Horace do? He playfully criticizes some social vices through gentle, mild, and light-hearted humor. That Horace used humor to criticize social vices. So this is the characteristic of Horatian satire. Horace wrote satire to gently ridicule the dominant opinion and philosophical belief of ancient Rome and Greece. Horace said a Horatian satirist make fun of general human folly rather than engaging in specific or personal attack. So Horace doesn't involve in personal attacks, and his primary focus is on general human folly. Horatian satirist goal is to heal the situation with smiles rather than by anger. So, a satire, if the satire is gentle, mild, and on social vices and general human condition, it's called a Horatian satire. Some examples: Thomas More's Utopia, Alexander Pope, The Rap of. Another type of satire is Juvenalian satire, named for the writing of Roman satirist Juvenal, is more contemptuous and abrasive than the Horace. So it is more aggressive, more angryful. Juvenal disagreed with the opinion of public figures and institution of the Republic and actively attacked them through his literature. Juvenal also, unlike Horace, attacked public officials and governmental organizations through his satire, regarding their opinion as not just wrong but evil. Following this tradition, Juvenalian satire addresses perceived social evil through scorn, outrage, and savage ridicule. If the satire is more harsh, more attacking, and if it attacks on public offices and government, this is called a Juvenal satire. Let's take example. George Orwell's Animal Farm is a Juvenalian satire that isn't particularly funny. It ridicules communist government for their total lack of equality, because communist government, the Russian government in earlier time, focused on equality, but it was lacking equality. So George Orwell wrote a fire satire on naming Animal Farm on communist government. Jonathan Swift, A Modest Proposal, and Voltaire's Candide are also example of Juvenalian satire. So when there is satire is more attacking and it attacks on government institution, it is called Juvenalian satire. There another type of satire that is called Manichaean satire, is a form of satire usually in prose, which has a length and structure similar to a novel. So its structure and length is equal to a novel and characterized by attacking mental attitudes. So we have another form, there is attack rather than specific individual or entities. The novelist sees evil and folly as social disease, but note the Manichaean satirists see them as a disease of intellect. So we have seen three types of satire. The Horatian, first is Horatian, after Horace. The second is Juvenalian satire, and third is Manichaean. Horatian attack on society, on society's institute, and Juvenal attacks on government institution, and Manichaean attacks on intellect. And the intellect is the chief source of all things the Manichaean consider. So these are three types of satire. The novelists see evil and folly as social disease, but the Manichaean satirists see them as the disease of intellect. So when there is folly, evil, or malapropism in society, that are all induced through intellect, all are created by intellect, that is mind. When there is attack on mind or intellect, it is Manichaean satire.